What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my July productivity report. I'm finally back home, as you can see in my home office. I'm a little backlit today, but that's okay. I've got my boba, I've got a mountain of blankets. I'm comfortable. The audio is working, I think. So let's do this. Let's talk. We have a lot to talk about. If you've been following me for a minute, you know that I do these productivity reports for fun. It's a way for me to stay accountable to myself and kind of take you along on the journey of how I meet my goals, the ups and downs, and just, attacking problems in a new way and kind of figuring out how to get over the bumps in the road when they show up. So I'm really enjoying myself doing these, and I hope you enjoy watching them. For those of you who are brand new, my name is Caroline, and I'm an organizing and productivity coach. I do a lot of project management, event planning, time management strategies. I work with entrepreneurs, artists, creatives, people who have a lot of big ideas, but who may not have all the tools yet to get them done or to understand how to best execute them without burning out. And that's my specialty. Work-life balance is my passion, and so I really enjoy helping people get their projects finished and do it in a way that doesn't feel heavy, that feels nourishing and fun and exciting and motivating without sort of sacrificing all the fun in life and sort of working 80 hours a week and not seeing any return on it. I don't like that. So that's my goal. That's why I'm here. Welcome to my channel. I encourage you to subscribe and let me know what topics you'd like me to talk about. I'm an open book here, and I want to make sure I make content that's helpful to you. So anyway, I do these reports as a way for me to stay transparent and just show that I live and breathe what I teach. And whatever's in my courses is basically what I follow myself, and I hope you find it interesting to hear about how I approach my goals. I have been doing this now for a couple of months. I started in October 2023. It is now July. Well, it's August, but I'm doing the report for July. So we're almost a full year into this now, and so far the response has been great. I think it's very helpful for people to see that not everything, even as a pro, is always, smooth sailing. Sometimes there are things that pop up that you can't predict. Sometimes there are things that I could have predicted, and I kind of go back and reflect on what I could have done differently. And that learning journey is so helpful, I think, to follow. And that's something that I teach a lot of. I do a lot of reflection routines. In fact, my high-ticket program, Mindful Monday Mapping, is really all about CEO routines and reflection routines and using them in order to get to a point where you don't have to kill yourself in order to be successful. So if you love that, check that out. You can find me at theswedishorganizer.com. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to leave a comment. I love to have conversations with people. So let's talk. But let's first get into my July productivity report. I felt so happy going into July. If you didn't watch June, then you won't know what was going on. But basically, I spent all summer in LA. I normally live in Chicago, but I do travel a lot. And I spent all of summer in LA. June was an amazing month. I felt so nourished and so cared for. I spent basically all of the previous month talking to friends and catching up with people that I hadn't seen in a long time, and July was no different. So going into July, I was on cloud nine. I was so happy. I felt so great, and I knew there was much more to come. Like, I still had a couple weeks to go, which was really amazing. So it was like I'm in the middle of this amazing experience, and it's not over yet. I know there's more. So I was really excited. And the theme for this month, it's called What Happens When Preparation Meets Opportunity. I mean, I could not have planned this any better. I'm a pro at planning, but I could not have planned this on my own. It was just the perfect segue. In July, I could feel that there was a shift in the air. I could feel that something new was upon me. I wasn't quite sure what it was At this point, as I'm recording that video, I definitely know what that is. I just can't reveal it just yet. So you'll have to stick around and stay tuned for more information. But let me say this. It's really funny how things seem to find us at just the right time. Last month, I talked a lot about how I love to make decisions based on my intuition, even though I've learned that I can't only consider my intuition. I got in trouble when I was a little bit younger, following only my intuition and not really looking at facts and all of that. And so I now have a really great way of making decisions, like a process for it that I feel works incredibly well. And that's kind of what I discussed last month. It's also what I teach, by the way, in Mindful Monday Mapping. So that was kind of the feeling I was floating off of going into July. And I kind of felt like, well, when I'm ready, things are going to fall into my lap. That's kind of the feeling that I've been working with the whole time. Some will call that selective perception, basically meaning that when you are ready, you look for things, and because you're looking for them, you see them, whereas otherwise you wouldn't necessarily be looking for them, and then that way you might have missed them. No matter what you call it, I really believe that things come into our lives when it's the right time, and if something is not clicking for you just yet, there's probably another lesson that you need to learn in order to be able to see or feel that opportunity. In fact, that's something I have going on right now as well. Like, I know that there are some things I want to do. I also know that I'm not quite ready yet. There are things that I need to learn still and work out for myself in order to get to that point. So you kind of just have to be patient with yourself and feel that out. But the key, I think, is to not get frustrated, but just trust in the process and trust that things will come your way when the time is right. And right now, I kind of have a feeling for what I'm preparing for. Like I said, I think I know enough now that I kind of see where this is going. I'm not going to share it just yet, but I have written it down so that I can share it in future episodes if I decide to take those opportunities. I can tell you that it has to do with music and it has to do with marketing. It has to do a lot with marketing. In fact, this fall, I'm going to be teaching so much marketing. I have been asked to host a fall boot camp for the photo managers, which is kind of like our industry community for those of us organizers who specialize in digital asset management and photo organizing. So I'll be leading a full-day boot camp on marketing right there with a colleague of mine, a money coach named Chelsea. Shout out to you, Chelsea, if you're watching. We're going to be having so much fun, and it's going to be advanced strategies basically for selling and networking and marketing and all of that on my end. So excited for that. So if you are a member of the Photo Managers, make sure you sign up for that. Heck, even if you're not a member of the Photo Managers, make sure you hop on over. I'm going to put the link below the video and check it out. Because if you're interested in digital organization at all, it's a fantastic group to join. I think that I am very naturally good at marketing because I'm a really good listener. I really love listening to people because it gives me insight into what they feel, what they need. And that's really what marketing is all about. Not to say that, you change yourself or what you offer or your pricing or anything like that. No, but you have to be really good at listening. Marketing is all about listening. And most people just talk way too much to be able to hear what other people are saying. And I prefer to listen because people will usually tell you what they need. And if you pay attention, the answers are right in front of you. You just need to meet them. So it's actually something that I'm very good at. As an entrepreneur, obviously, my sales depend on it. And even if you're not selling a product, you're selling yourself at any given point. So that is something that I really find interesting. Any behavioral science always gives me great interest. So it's something that I study a lot. And I think because of that too, I pick it up pretty easily. Another thing that is going to be amazing is a marketing seminar that I'm going to attend in October. So you'll get to hear more about that in November. And that's going to be in LA as well. I cannot wait because it's going to be with some music mavens that I have admired for a very long time. You know who you are, shout out, but I'll tell you all about that in November. So that's something, again, also that's coming up that I'm just looking forward to, that's going to be marketing all the way. And of course, I'm also teaching the masterclass again for the photo managers for the 2025 cohort with my colleagues, Darla and Jill. So that's another thing that is going to involve quite a bit of goal setting, marketing, and prosperity talk. So lots of fun things coming up, and it's just all going to be amazing. Not to mention, it's going to give me time to network, which is really cool. There are so many ways to market yourself, right? But now that I'm back from my summer in LA, I think I can safely say that networking is by far one of the safest way to market yourself. It's so easy to just get out and talk to people and just hang out, listen, take an interest in them, and forge really great relationships. And that's really where a lot of marketing comes from. Like I just mentioned, you get to know people, you understand what they need, and you're able to then position your offers in a way where it makes sense to them. And it's really important to understand too that relationships take time, networking takes time. It takes a moment for the momentum to build, so it's not enough to sort of go to a networking group like BNI or whatever and go one time and then say, well, it didn't work. Just like with everything, we've had this chat. If you've watched my reports, we've had this chat many times. You can't just do something one time and expect these results to magically pop in. It just doesn't work that way. So you have to do it, especially as an entrepreneur, you have to do it on a regular basis. You have to do it consciously, intentionally, and with interest and genuine excitement to meet people and have an interest in them. And if you do that, like the momentum that builds is absolutely incredible. And I understand that if you're a business owner and you're strapped for time, that can feel like a bit of a gamble. Maybe you just don't have the time for that. But it's the safest form of marketing, like I said, and it is worth it. You just have to do it on a regular basis and with intention, because once you build up that momentum and people get to know you and learn what you offer and how you can help them, and when they see that their goals and values align with yours, the momentum is just going to flow. So it is a very safe and effective form of marketing, and I've been doing a lot of it lately. So, I would love to know your thoughts on that. Do you take time to network? How often do you do it? Like I said, I spent quite a bit of time now doing it, just talking to people regularly, online, in person. I travel to see people all the time, and it is an investment of time, funds, energy, of course, but it is also what's getting me amazing results. So with that in mind, it's totally worth it. So let's now jump to how productive I was in July. As I mentioned, it was an incredibly productive month for me in terms of networking, in terms of marketing. The entire month of July, I spent with somebody else. So every single day, the first to whatever the last day of the month was, I spent that with somebody new or somebody I hadn't seen in a while. So it was a lot of time invested, but it was so worth it. I did pick up projects that I had not expected to pick up. So there you go. How funny, right? I didn't do that on purpose, but things come your way when you reconnect with people. And if you watched last month, you'll remember that I said that I spent an additional 30 hours on networking outside of sort of regular work hours. And that was even though it wasn't part of any goal, but I just wanted to see how much time went, where did it go, and with whom did I spend it? And that way, in the future, I would know if a project came my way, what type of investment I made in order to create that opportunity. So that was something I measured just for fun. And I wanted to kind of see how valuable that time would end up being. And I did that this month too. So far, I can report that from last month, those 30 hours have generated 4 new projects and over $6,000 of revenue. And we're only just getting started. So if I break that down, that's over $200 per hour of ROI for that time investment. So it's a great start. I know way more is going to come from it. We're only just getting started. And I have a feeling some of those projects are actually going to lead to long-term impact on my career, which is even more exciting. It's going to go far beyond the value of money if my intuition is correct. So we're going to keep checking back and see what kind of opportunity those hours of networking led to. So that's another fun thing that you can follow. If we jump to this month I worked just over 90 hours, which is about 22 and a half hours per week. And out of those hours, 24 of them went towards networking. So very similar to last month, I did the same thing this month. I wanted to check and see, how much time did I invest in meeting new people in case something new originates from it. And not surprising, it did. It already has. And I'll tell you more about that next month. So let's just say those were 24 hours well spent. I am very much in maintenance mode right now. A lot of my courses have been up and running for a while, and they kind of take care of themselves for the most part. I support my students and I work on new projects, but a lot of things are just sort of flowing, and that's a very nice feeling. So there isn't all that much maintenance to keep in. Most of what I do is marketing. Like the majority of my activities are for marketing and promotional purposes. So networking being a big part of that. But because it hasn't been a part of a specific goal, it's kind of been just for fun that I tracked it. But yeah, so now if you add up last month and this month, we are at, let's see, what was it? 30 something plus 24. Let's say 55, 60 hours or so of networking and talking to people. And while that seems like a lot of time, the ROI that it's going to bring me is going to be huge. So I'm happy with that. I might continue to track networking time just for fun, just to kind of be able to go back and see where things lead. I like to know what's working in my business, and that is one thing that is definitely working. Okay, let's move on to projects completed. In July, I completed 3 projects. All of them were pretty condensed in size. They were fairly small, and that is why I had so much time and space to network and market. In my business, it tends to be a little slower during the summer months, so I find that that's actually a really good time for me to do a lot of networking because there's just less to do naturally anyway. And if you have a seasonal business, you can also measure that for yourself and see, well, this is where I should be going out of my way and spending more time marketing and doing promotional stuff and speaking and all of that to give you a little bit more space and to then rev up business for the months to come. 2 of my projects this month were related to growth and marketing, and then 1 was related to fulfillment. And if you've checked out a productivity report before, then you already know that my goal is to complete 3 projects per month. So for this month, I was right on target. 3 is like a sweet spot for me. It's not too much, it's not too little, it's just right. And I never have a problem completing 3 projects, whether 1 is big and 2 are small, or 2 are big and 1 is small, whatever that combination happens to be, it just seems to work out. Naturally, I have to be strategic with resource management, but I've been at this long enough to know how to manage that, so it's never really a problem. In fact, I did make a TikTok video the other day that went and became very popular on resource management, so hop on over and check that one out if you have a moment. It's one of my favorite things to talk about because, you think of resources as only maybe your employees, like manpower or whatever, time, money, but there's so much more to it. There's energy and all other kinds of things that you should consider in order to manage a project well. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot more sometimes than you think. And just knowing how to plan your projects out, decide on what you're going to tackle in a certain month, and managing them well. Like if you have that skill, it is such a relief because it just makes your life so much easier. So it's definitely something that if you're not great at, take the time to learn it. You will not believe what a difference it makes in your well-being. I can attest to that. All right, so my favorite project this month was actually completing a VIP day with one of my clients. Shout out to you, you know who you are, and thank you for having me. I'm not gonna, say the name, but let's just say she is an amazing person. I'm so lucky to work with her, and it's just the best thing ever when you get to collaborate with people that you trust and love and respect. And every time I get to do a VIP day, it's just a special feeling because I get to go deep into life-changing conversations with my clients and get really focused and just get really good results in a very short amount of time. So it's a great way to get things done in a very focused way. I do offer VIP days online as well as in person at my day rate, and it's great. I'm not gonna lie, it does take some planning and all of that to pull them off, but it's so worth it. We get tremendous results, and it's usually a very powerful, deep connection that we create. And I think there's been so many pivot points that I can think of when I've done VIP days with clients that I've just seen the ROI, the value that you get out of them. It's one of my favorite things to do, and the people I get to work with are just incredible. Something magical happens when you get together, for a VIP day with a client. So yeah, if you're interested in exploring what that could look like, reach out to me because I would love to chat more about how we can make some of your dreams come true. I do private versions of my quarterly planning workshops as VIP days, and then I also do custom VIP days with people. And it's so much fun every time. So just reach out. And even if you're a colleague and you just kind of want to chat about, developing VIP days for yourself, I'm happy to answer questions about it. I just find that it's such a cool, nice offer to have for special clients that you care about. So lots and lots of fun. Definitely my favorite project this month, hands down. All right, let's talk about digital images organized. As you know, I am a certified photo organizer and I love memories. In fact, I think I annoy a lot of my friends, clients, and family members quite a bit because I am always taking photos and videos of them. And I kind of have to stop myself sometimes. I can't help it. I love it so much. I love that we have this medium and that we're able to capture day-to-day life and our interactions. And like, if I could have a camera on me 24/7, I would be really happy. If I could have cameras on everybody all the time, I would be happy. As a former photographer, there's just always so many beautiful moments that I see and I just want to capture them. And yeah, I think I annoy people quite a bit with that. But if you're going to be my friend, that's one of the things that you have to accept. It's gonna be a lot, but then we look back and we go, wow, look at all the fun we had. So it is kind of worth it. And then they all come to me because they know that if somebody's got content, it's me. Every time somebody's like, hey, did you take a picture of me? I need something for social, whatever. They know who's got the footage. So of course I'm a certified photo organizer. How could I not be? I'm a selfie queen as well, and I do my own videos and all that. It's just too much fun. I can't help it. So here we are. In June, I took 1,565 photos and videos. I got rid of very few of them. Normally I cull a bit more. I only deleted 46, so that netted me 1,519 new files. Not as many as during most months, but still plenty. And a lot of great memories, for sure. I even snuck in a combo photo shoot with my friend Jale, who is on her book tour that I was helping her with a tiny bit there. And we were in San Diego together. Beautiful area and fantastic for taking photos and videos. So we maximized our time there. for sure. I had so many great photos to look back on. In fact, I have printed many of them, and I'm now going to make a little photo wall. I'm gonna update that. So if you want to be on my photo wall, let me know. We'll take some pictures together, and we'll get you up there. You'll make me so happy if you do that. And of course, as always, I have to mention DPO Pro, my photo organizing masterclass. If you're not in it already, head over to my website and check it out. You'll learn how to organize your digital photos and streamline your digital universe, and it'll be a lot easier for you to keep up with all the beautiful memories that are coming into your life every single month. I am going to do a webinar for B&H Photo coming up on September 17th, so I'll also link that below. The registration page is open. We're going to talk about some of the mistakes people make, how to streamline your universe and get started organizing your digital photos. So that's going to be really fun. I hope you register and check that out. And as always, if you have questions around organizing digital photos, feel free to reach out as well. It's another one of my passions, and I happen to be pretty good at. Okay, let's talk about something I'm not very good at, and that is walking. Definitely getting better at it though. In July, I walked a total of 243,491 steps, which breaks down to about 8,000 steps a day when you pace that out. So I'm getting a lot better at it. I used to take less than probably 2,000 steps a day, and here we are now at 8,000 steps. Now it's taking me quite a bit of time to get to that number, but that's okay. And of course, being on the move in LA, that helped a lot. So does the weather. We've talked about that before. My goal has been to consistently clock at least 5,000 steps every single day. And so I'm super pleased with this results. I'm still dipping up and down every now and then, but we're getting closer and closer to this becoming like a consistent habit. So I think making outdoor activities a bigger part of my life has been a game changer here. Spending a lot of time in warmer climates has been a game changer. It has helped close the gap significantly. I definitely want to get back into horseback riding. That is an activity that I miss. And I don't know if it's going to help my step count, but it's definitely going to help my, activity level in general, because I'll be outside more and all that. I just have to find a nice stable somewhere that I can kind of hop in and out of and make that work. Most people don't know, but I had horses as a teenager. So if you know me after I moved to the US, you wouldn't know that probably, but I had 6 horses as a teen, and I competed a lot. I competed in dressage, in steeplechase, and in show jumping. And I had some significant success. In fact, I think had I stayed in Sweden, I probably would have gone national with that or gone pro or made that some sort of a career. But that was not meant for me. After moving to the US, I kind of lost touch with that a bit. I had to give my horses up. And now it's only the occasional ride when I'm on vacation or whatnot. But that's something I definitely want to pick up again because I miss that terribly. I think horses are my spirit animal. So that's something that I have to fix. We're going to see if we can make that happen next year or the following year. Definitely putting that back on the list of activities. Archery, another one of those. And I'll talk more about that another month. But yeah, so far, activities are going well. The step count is up. I am very close to making this a consistent habit. So I just have to stick with it and make it so normal that I don't even question it anymore. And at that point, I can probably let go of measuring it. But for now, we still have some measuring left to do, and we're not quite there yet, but we're getting better. Another thing I'm not necessarily great at, hence the measuring, is home cooked meals. I tend to eat out quite a bit. I am a very convenient person, and that is something that I know I have to be a bit more mindful of. However, because I travel so much, it's not always easy to figure this out. So June was quite a mess. I think July was also a bit of a doozy. I came in at 52.4%, so half, and that's using the word very loosely. My goal is 75%, so we fell a bit short there. I had breakfasts ready to go most of the time. Breakfast is always like an easy thing for me to figure out. Lunch and dinner seems to be a lot harder for me. And for that, we mostly went out. And it was a bit of a break for me in terms of meal planning and cooking, so I actually didn't mind. I'm actually a very good meal planner. I just don't always want to cook or actually stick to the plan. And that's kind of where it falls apart. But I'm an excellent meal prep person, and I have a system down pat for it. That being said, yeah, I've made the mistake in the past of just sort of going on trips, buying too many ingredients and then not using them up. So I've actually overspent on groceries. And in this particular month, because I was meeting so many people for dinner, because I was seeing everybody outside of my Airbnbs and all of that, I just felt like there's really no point in doing a lot of this. I'm better off just sort of working with meals and leftovers from elsewhere. So that's what I did. But I knew that was going to happen, and I made that decision consciously. So we've kind of touched on that before in these productivity reports. Like, when you're setting goals, it's okay to give yourself a bit of a break every now and then, because if you don't and you're super strict, you're going to fall off, right? It's kind of a fine balance to strike, but it's so crucial. And it's kind of the same as with your budget. It's like, if you have a certain amount of money that you want to spend, a certain percentage of that money has to be for fun stuff or for whatever. Like, if there's no breathing room at all, it's just going to be so strict that you're going to end up just forgetting the whole thing and giving up. And we don't want that. You don't want to feel deprived in any given situation. So when you are dealing with flexible goals, flexible meaning that there's no set sort of deadline, but it's just an ongoing thing, for maintenance especially, then it's really important that you play the long game, and you just, over time, make sure that you keep an eye on how things are going. Because the goal is to catch things before they get to a point where they're not working, right? But if you just constantly keep an eye on the metrics and sort of stay committed to the process, then you'll be just fine, even if it dips every now and then. That's not a big deal. It's human to dip every now and then, and we have to be okay with that. Okay, on to books and learning. This month I read Sandbox Wisdom by Tom Asaker. I have it right here. It's actually a really good marketing book, and it's one that I've read many times before. I just find it so down to earth and so useful that I wanted to pick it up again. And I just happened to have it in my library because I had the pleasure of meeting Tom at a conference many years ago, and he was so helpful and so lovely to chat with that I picked up all of his books, and I've kept them ever since in my little library. They're very helpful. I have a lot of favorite quotes from this book, but one of them is surprisingly applicable to this month's conversation, and it's this: many people have forgotten how to slow down, how to truly empathize, and make each contact count as a genuine, sincere encounter. It's still about people and their feelings. I think that is such a good reminder for anyone who is into marketing on any level. Selling people too soon on your product or your service doesn't work. You first have to sell them on you. And that's what this book goes into so beautifully. It's only after they have, grabbed on to the idea of working with you, that you are able to sell them on things. And when I say sell, I don't mean to sell in a weird pushy way or anything like that. What I'm saying is that it's not until people like you, trust you, and know what you're about and see that they align with you, that they're actually going to invest, right? And that's just about developing relationships again, which goes back to this month's topic. You can't rush that. So that's why networking makes so much sense. It's because you develop genuine, real friendships, and the longer and better and deeper those relationships are, the better that selling goes, right? So you're constantly selling yourself in some form of another, and getting people to like you. That's what marketing is all about. Whether you're a brand, whether you're an individual solopreneur, or whether you have a small business with a team, you're selling people on an idea, the idea of you first, then the idea of working with you or buying your product. And a lot of that is just about good, nice, fuzzy, warm feelings. So great reminder. I highly recommend you pick up this book. I have the physical book. I normally do audiobooks, but it was actually nice to kind of pick up a tangible book this month. And it's so easy to read. It's not very long and dense. So highly recommend it. Again, Tom Essiker, Sandbox Wisdom. Okay, meaningful conversations. Well, as you have heard, I had a ton of them. I mean, we're talking probably 40, 50 of them. Normally my goal is 3, so I killed that. I knocked that out of the box in July. But I had to take a break from the online remote catch-ups because of that. I was just on the go too much, and I was just seeing more people in real life, and so it didn't make sense to hold my online Zoom catch-ups. And I think that I'm going to do the same next month. So it's not going away, the whole fake it with Caroline, like that's still going to be a thing, but I'm taking a bit of a break because I'm seeing so many people in person, and I'm going to meet my goal without having to do remote catch-ups. So suffice it to say that I would have a hard time choosing which of these meaningful catch-ups to highlight. I mean, there's just been so many. I mean, deep, thoughtful, learning opportunities, and just incredible conversations. I can't possibly highlight any of them. But let's just say that it went well, and it led to some really nice friendships that I'm going to have for a very long time. One of the workshops that I had been looking forward to hosting for a long time actually happened in July, and it was physical photo organizing with Sarah McNaught, my dear friend and colleague from Down Under. She has a company called the Photo Curators, and I called on her to present to my audience of photo aficionados. It is a presentation that I could have done myself, but sometimes I just get, sick of hearing myself talk, and it's nice for people in my audience to also hear from other people. So I knew she would be the perfect person to have present, and that workshop was absolutely incredible. So many gems and so many tricks and just valuable insight that she gave. We got rave reviews, and that workshop is now available for purchase. So if you missed it, you can still catch it. Look under workshops over on my website and you'll find it there. So again, it's our physical photo organizing workshop for print photos and analog memories. And she teaches, how to go from a complete mess of boxes and boxes of stuff and making it all organized and scan ready. So start to finish, it's a beautiful process, and she gave so much valuable information. Shout out to Sarah and the photo curators down there in Sydney. Thank you so much for working with me and collaborating. Can't wait to see you again soon. That's one of those amazing friendships that have developed as a result of networking and meeting in person. So there you go. It works. All right, finally, let's get to tea of the month. You would think that it would be boba. It's not. I'm going to get to this eventually. This happens to be Trader Joe's boba, the brown sugar one. I do know how to make it myself, you know, from scratch, but every now and then I get lazy, so I use a shortcut. It's not, it's fine. Let's say it's fine. It's fine. I prefer the real thing when other people make it for me and all of that, but I do a jasmine dragon pearl iced, and then I add in Trader Joe's boba, so that's good. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to highlight Sadaf's cardamom tea because Jale, who I spent 2 weeks with, as well as many of my Persian friends, are big fans of the Sadaf line of teas. And it's actually a black tea from Sri Lanka, as far as I understand it, like an maybe like a Ceylon tea, you know, like the ones that you kind of get if you are looking for a staple black tea in any grocery store. But it has this added layer of cardamom, which is just really, really nice. So it's strong, but it's flavorful. It's not bland in any way. It's just really, really nice. It's good hot or cold. And I had it so many times. In fact, we went to a Persian store where we found saffron infused sugar as well to put into it, and it was just amazing. So Sadaf's cardamom tea, I'm going to link that one below. Definitely try that out. I normally don't like bagged teas at all. I do loose teas most of the time, or sachets if I have to, but this one, I have to say, exceeded my expectations. So I had to highlight it. I had it so many times. It seemed that every person I met had a form or another of this tea at home, and they know I love tea, so that's what I got. So it was just the perfect fit this month. So yeah, they have an online store that you can get it at. You can also get it on Amazon, but definitely check that one out. It's really good. Thanks for being here until the end. Before I wrap up, let me just say that, you know, because I share certain measurements for my goals, that doesn't mean that you have to measure the same things. Productivity, project management, and time management, and all of that is highly personalized and it's highly individualized. And so you have to figure out what your goals are, and you have to put a process in place for measuring and tracking your results. And if you're not sure how to do that, reach out to me. I would be happy to help you. We can do sessions together and work towards your goals. I love to make things happen for people, and I happen to be pretty good at it. So please let me know if I can be of assistance to you. But yeah, definitely measure what matters to you. Don't worry so much about what I'm measuring. I'm simply doing this to show you that you have to put goals in place. You have to track them. You have to see what results you're getting month to month. You have to reflect on them, and you have to see how you can tweak things to make that goal happen, right? It is not something that you just say and then it magically happens. No, we work towards our goals every single day. We measure the things that matter, and we make it happen by tweaking and analyzing our results throughout. So measure what matters, but make sure it matters to you. I will see you all again next month for a new productivity report. I will have a lot to share with you then too, so be sure to tune in. Until then, take care and knock those goals out of the park. That's loud.